Okay, we're going to look at some more examples for SAT math prep. So this example says the scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. Which of the following equations is the most appropriate linear model for the data shown? Okay, so first, before we even look at the linear models, if we were to draw a line through that data, we already know that this slope is going to be negative. Okay, so I'm going to look at all the numbers in front of x, which is my slope, and if it's not negative, it can't be an answer. So it can't be C and it can't be A, because those give us a positive 9.4 and a positive 0.9. Okay, so now we know it has to be negative, and then the other part is the y-intercept. Okay, so as we are looking at this equation, and let me erase a little bit at the top, notice how we have a data point that is crossing the y-intercept at 10, which means our y-intercept should be a value close to 10 in order for this to be an appropriate linear model. Well, the only one that has a y-intercept close to 10 is D of 9.4. So that means D is our answer. Okay, next example, it says, what is the equation of the graph shown? So for this one, again, we can pay attention to the slope of this line and we see that it's negative, which means in our answers, we should have a negative number in front of x. So it can't be B and it can't be D. Okay. The next thing we can check is the y-intercept, which is at -8, but notice both of these have a y-intercept at -8. Which means the next thing we need to do is, instead of just identifying the sign of the slope, we have to identify the slope itself. So since we have a graph here that are on nice pretty points right here, we can do rise over run. Just notice that the graph is going by 2s. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, so up 8. And then 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that is to the left 8. So then we do rise over run, so it's going to be 8 divided by -8, which is -1, and so the answer is C. Okay, let's look at another example. It says, if x over 8 is equal to 5, what is the value of 8 over x? Okay, so notice from here to here, all they did was take the reciprocal, which means they flipped the fraction upside down. So technically, I can rewrite 5 as a fraction. I can say that x over 8 is equal to 5 over 1. I didn't change anything, I just converted it to a fraction. So if I flip x over 8 to become 8 over x, that means I can flip 5 over 1 to become 1 over 5. That would be the answer. Look at the next one. It says the given equation describes the relationship between the number of birds, B, and the number of reptiles, R, that can be cared for at a pet care business on a given day. If the business cares for 16 reptiles on a given day, how many birds can it care for on this day? So it just says R is reptiles, and it gives us the value 16. So I'm going to do 2.5B plus 5 times R, which is 16, is equal to 80. So now that I only have one variable, I can solve for that variable. So first I have to do 5 times 16, which is 80. So 2.5B plus 80 is equal to 80. I subtract 80 to the other side, so 2.5B is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 2.5, and so B is equal to 0 divided by 2.5, which is 0, so our answer is A.